right, welcome back, guys. This is the GSL Code S. I am Doe, with me is Moltrap, and it is do or die time for our only foreigner. That's right, Liquid Huck won his first game, lost his second game, and now has to have a rematch against TSL Killer. There they are. The winner of this advances. The loser stays in Code S. The map, Metalopolis. I don't know, what do you think? What are your predictions, Moltrap?
I'm going to go with Huck on this one, man.
Gotta go with Huck. That's
Gotta go
right.
with Huck. Like I was saying before, Killer historically does not have very good Protoss versus Protoss. Huck also historically doesn't have good PvP, but lately it's really been highly improved. He's been playing a lot of tournament games. He's been doing very, very well. And,
yeah, he's been looking a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Huck's just in better shape right now. Killer, you know, here's the thing though. I remember last season, Killer, I feel like he was kind of like, thought he was, I don't know, in his interviews, he seemed kind of down, like he didn't expect to do well. And this season, I think he feels a little more confident for some reason.
Could be. Could be, although it's like the Emperor says.
I don't know.
Or Luke says to the Emperor, rather. Your overconfidence is your weakness. So, can be a bad thing, who knows?
Who was talking to Boxer?
No, what? Oh, not the, oh, I see what you did there. All right. Killer looks a little bit nervous, if you ask me.
He might indeed. He kind of looks bored in general, actually. But anyway, this is the rematch. Protoss versus Protoss. Huck versus Killer. Will Killer kill or be killed? Will Huck Killer? Huck isn't actually a verb. Let's find out on Metalopolis who's going to win.
I just realized that heavy metal song before the break was actually a remake of Eddie Murphy's My Girl Likes to Party All the Time. We have the best music here at the GSL, but do we have the best Protoss players? I think we do. Here's one, our foreigner Protoss. From Team Liquid, he is... Don't be lonely.
She looks like she's like embarrassed to say it. She's like, oh dear.
Yep. All right, here's the bottom of the map. From the Team TSL, can he get a win against his nemesis? He is
GSL Killer.
GSL Killer.
By the way, the intros are done by girls from the band A-Pink.
A-Pink, that's right. Yep, they are the band this season. Thanks to Pepsi, G-Skill, and Alla ebook for sponsoring the GSL. Or Ole. Ole, I guess it is pronounced correct.
I'm not sure.
I think it's pronounced like that.
I think it's Ole.
Yeah, Ole. I'll ask Y-Bro sometime.
Probes passing in the night.
That's right.
You can tell it's night because the street lights are on the streets of Metalopolis.
Yep.
And they're going to scout each other pretty quickly. Close positions by air and relatively close by ground, given the fact that you cannot spawn true close positions by ground.
Oh, look at that. Oh, Huck kills the probe of Killer. That is, wow, that is actually huge.
That is actually a big deal.
That is a big moral blow to Killer as well. I mean, to lose your probe like that, man. All right, well, that's 1 point for Huck already in this match. And what is Huck going to do? Here's the thing now, if Killer wants to keep scouting, he needs to send out another probe. Every probe is so important in PvP. The builds for these guys are so tight as far as the minerals and the gas that you need. Look at that, Killer has to send out a second probe that is going to actually have a big impact on his build.
By the way, Huck being super annoying with his probe, what he's doing right now is he's mining the minerals and then stopping. So he's actually keeping the mineral patches occupied so that Killer's probes cannot actually mine there.
Yep.
It looks like he's grabbed some minerals now and Killer's attacked his probe, so he stopped that. But he was actually keeping a patch unoccupied by Killer's probes for a good minute there.
Huck is chrono boosting out his first stalker. He's going to use that to chase out the probe of TSL Killer. And look at that, just that stalker is going to be out much, much quicker.
Yeah, and
that's the impact.
And Killer had to send another probe out as well.
Just lost it too, yeah.
So Huck's actually a couple supply ahead just from killing those two probes.
Yeah, second gas going up for both of these guys right now. Huck is going to be able to maybe take a little bit more map control. I'm curious to see what he's going to go into. There's the Robo Bay actually for Huck, so it is going to be probably the same build. Robo Bay for Killer as well, so mirrored builds in this mirrored matchup. Huck's slightly faster because of that early mineral lead, because of killing that probe and denying that one patch from Killer.
Yep, robotics facility going up for both, and a couple more gateways for Huck. And yeah, I mean, we kind of, you know, talking about it's kind of a big deal that he was able to stop all that mining and everything, and it really is in Protoss versus Protoss a big deal to do that. It's such a close game. It's a game where one unit extra can win you the game. Losing a unit early can lose you the game.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we have Huck putting some pressure on here with a single stalker, trying to see what's going on, take some hits from the high ground.
Yeah, and everything for Huck is just a little bit faster. You know, those 2 gateways faster, Warp Gate Research is faster, the Robo Bay is finishing a little bit quicker, and Huck actually not going for a Twilight Council right away, putting his up a little bit later than
like the
Killer.
moment you said that, he put up a Twilight Council.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, a little bit later than Killer. Killer's gateways were up a little bit later as well, though, so that means that the warp-in rounds of Huck are going to be a little faster. He's always going to be a couple units ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if Huck decides to push at some point, it's going to be a little sooner.
Assuming Huck keeps up on his macro, that is.
Yeah.
And he's actually not warping in units. He may... Curious what he's going to do. He's got a lot of money saved up here. Is he going to go for an expansion depending on what he scouts? Or
we've talked a lot about Huck being ahead at this point, and he is slightly ahead, but you know that lead is slight. It's very small. So Huck still needs to have that really good control to actually win the game. Doesn't look like he wants to really be aggressive quite yet. But, you know, Killer's definitely not out by any means. Stalker's getting cozy there between those buildings.
It's funny, both players are keeping their observer in their base to snipe enemy observers coming in to scout, and both players are doing that, so neither player is sending their observer to the other to lose it.
Huck is sending his out now.
Let's see, yes, you're right.
Moving
Trying to scout around, being very careful with it though, keeping it near his units.
Huck does have a couple forward pylons out on the map at the same time. He's going to try to put some pressure on Killer. It's going to come down to this, though. I mean, if we look at the unit counting station, both players, even on Stalkers, Huck with one more Zealot.
Yep, they both have Blink as well.
Yep.
So it's going to come down to Micro. Uh-oh, if he catches some units off guard over here.
Those units taking a few hits there. And, walling in a couple Stalkers. Nice job blinking out of the way there by Killer.
That was close.
Yeah, needs to be very, very careful with that. Huck's coming up the ramp. Here we go. Does Huck have enough?
Up. I don't know if he has the energy for it, actually blinking back away. Oh, one of the Stalkers gets caught, though.
That did not go well for Huck at all.
No.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, but did not work out quite well enough, and he did at least get out before he lost too many.
Yeah, I mean, he got away at the right time. It's so difficult to push into your opponent's base on Metalopolis. The ramp is so narrow. There's a lot of high ground you can shoot at your opponent from. Yeah, so I think Huck is just going to pull back. We might even see him go ahead and go for an expand, too. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm not sure. The thing is he had actually like a couple Stalkers less. I don't know if he can afford to go for an expansion right now. If he does, and the Killer attacks, then he's probably just going to lose because he'll be that
He is adding
lower.
that 4th gateway on. I think he actually wants Killer to expand. And
maybe
then possibly catch him. But, you know, it looks like Killer's going to move out. Huck is behind by 3 Stalkers right now, and that's actually pretty big in PvP.
That is huge.
Yeah,
and
you can see him running there.
He's forced to fall back there.
Yep. Wolf statue getting taken
to
out.
his expansion. Now, Killer doesn't have any pylons near Huck's base, so if he does press forward, he can't really continue the attack. Huck's defending advantage will actually be extant.
Yeah. Oh, Huck trying to send some Zealots in, but they're going to be caught by the Stalkers.
2 free Zealots for Killer.
Yeah.
Huck falling farther behind.
Now, Huck is ahead on Probe, so if he does decide to try to expand, he'll, you know, be in a little bit better position in that regard. But, you know, he definitely has a lot less Stalkers right now.
Ooh.
Very, very tenuous situation for Huck right now.
Yeah, and Huck actually getting supply blocked by losing that forward pylon.
Yeah, that is not good either.
Is really big deal.
Uh-oh. And Killer's moving out right now. Things are looking a little bit dangerous for Huck.
Yeah, Killer knows he's gotten a few small victories and wants to press it home into a large victory.
Yeah.
Huck does have the high ground advantage for the moment. And the defending advantage as well. He's got a couple pylons up, getting more Stalkers into the mix.
You know, unfortunately, Huck is going to be like permanently behind Killer and Stalkers unless Killer just forgets a warp-in round or something. As you can see, behind by 6 right now. And where is the Observer for Killer?
It's right above his army there.
Not
Where's
there.
the Observer for Huck is the question. Okay, his is right there too. If he could pick off Killer's Observer somehow, that would be a good thing.
Yep, that would be quite helpful. Killer will be expanding right now.
Huh.
And so that will actually allow Huck to catch up in Stalker numbers. 24 to 26. But that's all Huck has. He only has Stalkers right now. Killer has 1 Zealot. Doesn't really make a big difference, but, you know, every little bit counts. Yep. So we've kind of got almost a reverse of last game where Killer this time is the one who's getting a little bit ahead. And are they going to fight? I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, Huck moving away. Good decision there. Doesn't want to engage that larger group of Stalkers.
It is going to come down to Blink Micro. I don't think Huck should engage here, though. Ooh, trying to take some pot shots and get out.
Yeah.
A smart move. Huck has also followed up with an expansion of his own. It's going to be a little bit later, but only slightly.
Oh, this is so dangerous right now for Huck. Dangerous for both of these guys, but Huck knows that he's slightly behind. He's just poking in, trying to maybe get a little bit of a lead there.
Trying to kill off that pylon. Any little thing he can get, any little advantage he can get will be good. If he can actually kill a pylon off, that'd be huge. Oh no, 2 Stalkers caught. Out of position. I'm not sure what they were doing. Trying to poke in maybe behind Killer's forces or something.
They're going to get away. Huck is still 5 Stalkers behind.
And Huck lost another pylon somewhere in the mix.
Yep.
And is forced
Yeah,
to
Huck's supply blocked again, man. This has been really rough for Huck. He's been getting his forward pylons taken out. That's been supply blocking him. It's been letting Killer get even more ahead.
I'm surprised he's not getting an Immortal, actually.
Well, with that many Stalkers, it's kind of tough for the Immortal. I mean, usually it just gets focused down right away. It wouldn't be bad, but we'll see what Huck decides to do. Second Observer on the way for Killer. I think that's a good idea. It's good to have more than one, in my opinion.
Did Huck? Oh, I didn't even realize. Huck had to cancel his Nexus and remake it, actually. That is huge because now his Nexus is still in the process of being built right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. Huck with a good concave coming in here. Might get some kills on Killer Stalkers.
Yeah, now Huck
Killer forced to
pushing
fall back.
Killer. Ooh. Woo. So tense right now. 32-35. Huck has the advantage. Killing a few more Stalkers right now.
Oh, and he's got such good positioning as well.
Yep. And blinking ahead, taking out 4 more Stalkers. Is this the moment for Huck? It's micro time. Huck has to be very, very careful right now. Was able to catch Killer with a few less Stalkers, moving some in there to try to take out some probes.
Trying to draw him out of position as well.
Yep.
Huck is not pressing this home just yet. He's moving around to the front, trying to get good position again.
Here we go. It's very difficult to move through this choke in PvP with those big Stalker numbers. Killer is actually the one who's supply blocked right now. Huck 1 Stalker ahead.
Killer
finally getting his expansion up and running.
Yeah, for a while there, Killer did have a better economy, but yeah. And this time, actually, Huck picked off a pylon finally on the corner there. So Killer was supply locked for a moment. Huck getting back into it, evening things up.
Yeah. This game is so tense right now, Moltrap.
I'm literally like, my heart is beating so fast. I'm like so nervous for Huck right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to get good position outside of the expansion here, getting a good concave. Blinks over to the side. Nice blink by Killer to get better positioning. Huck blinking back his Stalkers. Is all going to come down to the blink micro here. Who's going to come out ahead?
Micro. Those Zealots made an absolutely huge difference for TSL Killer. A lot of Stalkers focusing on that instead of the other Stalkers, and Huck needs to pull back.
And another big thing there is actually that...
Look at that. Huck killed so many Stalkers in that engagement. 41 to 27 Stalkers right now. That doesn't even seem right. I can't believe it.
I cannot believe that either. He's got so many. Here's the only thing that Killer has going for him is that he did kill off Huck's Observer in that last battle, which is why we saw Huck fall back, because he no longer had vision of the Stalkers on the high ground. Huck going in with a good position again.
Huck has a huge advantage in Stalker numbers. He could, I really believe he could just go in and micro and win this victory. Wants to be very, very careful. Whoever wins this advances to the Codas round of 16. Here we go. Huck and Killer microing their hearts out. Neither one wants to stay in Codas in the round of 32.
Killer has the high ground advantage on some of his Stalkers, but not all of them. Huck blinks in, he's going for the kill. It's all coming down to this battle. Stalkers firing left to right. Huck has double the Stalkers of Killer.
Yep.
It looks like he is going to advance to the round of 16 here. Killer desperately trying to warp units in. Huck falls back, but Huck has a 30 supply lead. This is going to be the finishing move right here.
Yep, those Zealots being microed against by Huck. And yeah, the Stalker numbers are so high for Huck right now. Those Stalkers for Killer very, very low on life. And I think we are moments away, Mole Trap, from Huck advancing to the round of 16 in Code S. This is going to be rough for Killer to take, but look at that. Huck take out the last Stalker. GG.
Huck 2-0 in Killer.
Wow,
Is now-
fatigue means
wow,
nothing
wow.
to this guy. Yeah, I'd say his PvP's improved a little bit.
Yeah, man. That was absolutely awesome. There was a time there when he was behind, his expansion was behind, he was behind in Stalkers, he didn't have map control.
Played so safe.
And kept getting supply blocked, and he just kept playing safe, kept defending, kept falling back, poking in where he could, getting what damage he could get done, and falling back, eking his way back into the game, and then turning that into a commanding advantage, and just displaying superior positioning and tactics in those battles as well.
Great PvP from Huck. I'm so impressed. I mean, obviously, he's the only foreigner for Code S. We're pretty happy that he was able to advance.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
at the same time, it's kind of too bad for Killer. He wanted to get that revenge against Huck. Wasn't quite able to do it today. I'm sure he'll be back. He stays in Code S, so that's good at least. That's kind of the nice. The new format is a little bit more forgiving, where only the bottom player out of the group of 4 goes down to the up and down matches. So, yeah, still okay for Killer. I'm sure he would have wanted to advance, but, man, Huck.
I don't think he wanted to advance.
I think he did. I don't know, man.
Okay, well, we'll have to disagree on that one.
But Huck advancing. There he goes. Really great play. And now he's got to pack and go to Germany. So this guy can't wait around, man. He's got to be right out the door.
Yeah, man. Yeah, both of them leaving. Oh, man, that's going to be awkward on the flight, man, if they have to sit next to each other.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it is tough to a certain extent, but these guys are all, you know, they all tend to be pretty good friends, too. I mean, it's tough when you have a loss like that. You know, these guys are going to be spending, I wonder if their seats are right next to each other. They're going to be spending
they're
8
like
hours on a plane together now.
So, how's your day been? How did Code S go?
You know, actually, though, they're probably just going to be talking about the games and laughing about it. It's tough initially, but, you know, we've seen a lot of players that play matches like that, and then they're, you know, joking about it a little bit later. So Killer's going to be fine, obviously, but, you know, Huck advancing the round of 16, pretty great. And, of course, Bomber, our other player, advancing to the round of 16, 2-0ing the group, taking down.
Here's the thing, I don't know who to root for, man, because Huck is now going to be playing Nada in the round of 16.
That'll be pretty cool.
And that's going to be awesome, but it's like, I want to root for the foreigner, but I'm not a fanboy. I don't know what to do.
We can just hope for good games, man. That's what you got to do is just hope for good games. I think we saw some pretty good games today. Yep.
Definitely.
MVP Violet kind of coming out with the short end of the stick for the
he didn't even get a stick today, man.
He just was trying to slap. It was like James Bond slappers only.
There's
Slapping
the final
doesn't
results.
work in Code S.
Final results, Bomber, win-win, advances to the round of 16. Liquid Huck, win-loss-win, advances to the round of 16 as well. Violet is going down to the up and down matches with a couple blue losses on his record. Killer is going to stay in Code S, but does not advance, so he's going to be there for the next season.
Yep, that's right.
Hey, so, Violet might be in Code S still next season as well. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he is still a strong Zerg player. He came up against some tough opponents. But, you know, we do see a lot of overlap in Code S and Code A these days. Here's our results, of course, for today, or what the round of 16 is going to look like anyway now. Bomber versus Keen, going to be a cool TVT. And Huck versus Nada. Huck going up against another strong opponent in his first match in the round of 16.
And I cannot help but dance to the music today. Like every song that has been playing in the background, I've been like bobbing my head up and down.
This is a Dance Dance Revolution song, man.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it should be.
It might have been a song before DDR.
I don't know if it actually is. There were no songs before DDR.
No, of course not.
I don't know what that means.
And make sure to tune in tonight for some more Code S action.
Yeah, that's right.
Beyond Xenio, ASD, and Puzzle. That is actually going to be a sick group.
Later tonight for most of you guys, I suppose. It's already night when you're watching this right now. But yeah, Tasteless and Artosis are going to be back casting that, so don't miss it. It's going to be pretty awesome. I think I'm going to be in the studio as well.
Group F is going to be Trickster, Ryung, Alive, and Top. Trickster versus 3 Terrans. Is Trickster going to be able to PVT his way to victory? We're going to find out, man. And then, of course, the winners of those matches will play each other as well. So that's going to be intense to see not only who wins, but who's going to play against each other in the round of 16. So make sure you tune in tonight. 6:10 Korean time, which is 2 a.m., 2:10 a.m. Pacific time, 5:10 a.m. Eastern, and I believe something like 11 a.m. in Europe, depending on which part of Europe you're in.
I have no idea. I'm really interested to see how Puzzle does. He's the winner of Code S from last season. His first Code S experience. It's going to be cool to see how he does against ASD Xenio and beyond. ASD, of course, coming up from Code A last season as well.
Puzzle showing some good games in the Team League as well.
Yeah, and Beyond got all the way to the semifinals, I believe, of Code S last season. So very strong Terran.
By the way,
is he going to bring his dog? Who knows?
I hope so, man.
It's a
that
cute
dog is so adorable.
It is.
By the way, if you have not been watching the Team League, I would highly recommend actually going and purchasing the ticket for those VODs. Why would people not watch
the Team League?
I don't know.
Team League's awesome, man.
Well, there's a lot of StarCraft to watch. I can imagine someone falling behind. I actually had to catch up on the Team League VODs myself when I was packing to move here to Korea. But I really recommend going back and watching those VODs. There have been some really epic matches and some really, really good games as well.
The Team League's really
cool. A lot of drama there, too.
Because it's in an individual league, it's like, I'm going to train to play this person. And you do that, and you play him and see if it works out. In Team League, it's like we have to have snipers for this guy. We have to choose who's going to go against this guy. There's a lot of strategy in it. You know?
And
the
as
games
a result,
look very different.
Sorry about that. As a result, you see players that you don't see in the GSL. You know, players that are really good that are out of the GSL or never got in. Yeah. You know, Dongregu, didn't see very much from him in the GSL this season, but you still get to see him in the Team League. He's the ace for MVP in the Team League.
MMA is another example of that as well. You know, we didn't see him a lot in the GSL initially. Didn't have a lot of success in Code A, and was tearing it up in the Team League. Basically won 2 Team League seasons for Slayers.
Yeah.
And speaking of Team League, Slayers is out now. Well, they're not out. They're still going to be playing, but they're out of the running for getting into the playoffs, which is really weird. They haven't won a game yet this season or a match yet this season.
Yeah, very strange.
Crazy stuff. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. Come back a little bit later for Tasteless and Artosis. Thanks again to our sponsors, Pepsi, G-Skill, and Olay eBook. Again, I'm Doa. With me is Moletrap. Thanks for watching, guys.